What if Tony Stark lived in Gotham? That's right. Tony replaces Bruce. Tony Stark, the genius billionaire playboy philanthropist in the DC universe, replacing our favorite Dark Knight? What would be the consequences of this? Would Tony be able to handle Gotham City? Or would he be overwhelmed by Gotham's villains? For this story's sake, we are going to assume that any other superheroes or sidekicks simply don't exist. So there are no Superman, no Captain America, or even companions like Robin. We will assume that Tony has moved his empire to Gotham City. It starts with the shipment of Stark Tech hijacked at the docks. Carmine Falcone wants to show the newcomer who really runs the city. Tony Stark, arrogant as always, doesn't call the police. He goes straight to the docks in a custom suit and an expensive car, expecting to buy his way out or talk his way through. But he is brutally mistaken. Falcon's goons don't want the money, they want to break the celebrity. Tony is savagely beaten, his high tech toys smashed against the concrete. Falcone leaves him bleeding in the gutter with a message: Gotham eats people like you. But Tony Stark isn't scared. He realizes the truth of Gotham. Over the past few days since he has moved to Gotham City, he has been seeing on the news about the notorious villains popping up. There's no one to protect the innocent people living in the city. Then Tony starts searching around all his tech for some ideas in order to stop all this. Maybe a weapon. No, that can be stolen. Maybe multiple weapons. No, that's not a solution. That's just chaos. In this scenario, he doesn't trust people like he did in his own story. In Gotham City, he has been dealing with people who are not innocent. Many people are ruthless or corrupted. Tony doesn't even trust half of the law enforcement. While searching around for an idea, Tony hears the news about Mr. Freeze, a regular man wearing a suit and holding an ice gun. Now that sounds like power. Tony goes straight to the basement, and for the next couple of days, in the basement of Stark Tower, the sounds of hammer hitting metal echoes for 72 hours straight. He emerges not as a man, but as a machine. That's right, Mark 1 is finally ready. But first, would Mark 1 really make sense in this story? No. In the original story, he was kidnapped and trapped in a cave and only had a few boxes of scrap.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps.
This time, he has the whole Stark Tower, his AI companion Jarvis.
Welcome back, sir.
He can create a much better suit in this scenario. So the Mark 1 is actually a resemblance of the Mark 2. And for the first time, he takes it to the sky. He realizes that this is the perfect weapon to take down Carmine Falcone. He dares through Falcon's club like a wrecking ball. One by one, the untouchables are incinerated or crushed. By dawn, Falcon is behind bars, and Tony stands before a sea of cameras to utter the words.
I am Iron Man.
The power vacuum left by Falcon doesn't stay empty for long. Beneath the iceberg lounge, around a massive scarred wooden table, sits the most dangerous assembly in Gotham's history. See, you have to realize that for decades, they played a game of cat and mouse with a bat, who followed a code. But Tony Stark doesn't have a code, he has a budget. He isn't trying to rehabilitate them, he's trying to disinfect them from the face of the earth. He isn't a hero, he's a landlord with God complex. Infamous villains like the Penguin, Riddler, Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Bane, Killer Croc, Deathstroke, Deadshot, Scarecrow, Black Mask, and even Catwoman are sitting and waiting for the person who calls this meeting. None of them look pleased to see each other's faces, and it looks like a fight could happen any second when the door slams open. Harley Quinn enters and announces the arrival of the biggest villain to ever rule Gotham, Mr. J. At the head of the long table sits a chaotic pair, the Joker and Harley Quinn. They propose an idea to bring down the billionaire playboy with all the power they have. The villains don't want to form a brotherhood. They hate each other too much for that. Instead, they agree for a temporary truce. There is no room for a dozen kings if a god in a tin suit is planning to level the kingdom. Tony's obsession doesn't just grow, it consumes him. He spends 20 hours a day in the lab, fueled by the terrifying realization that Gotham City isn't a city, it's a virus. Without a moral anchor like Captain America, or even a beacon of hope like Superman, there's no one to stop Tony's Ultron tendencies from spiraling out of control. He keeps on building more and more suits, keeps improving them, and tries to stop all the criminals on his own. He initiates the Peacemaker Protocol, launching hundreds of automated Iron Legion drones. These aren't just robots, they are judge, jury, and executioner, hovering over every street corner, scanning heart rates, and searching for concealed weapons. The GCPD is sidelined. Jim Gordon is left staring at a blank phone because the machines get to the crime first. But Gotham City is built on grit and privacy. The citizens don't see heroes in the sky, they see danger. They see a billionaire playboy who doesn't even understand their struggle, taking over the skies, taking control of the city. The media starts branding him as a techno dictator, and even the people who were saved by Tony now start changing their sides. Tony decides he needs to prove his transparency. He buys out every billboard and hijacks every television frequency in the city to make a grand announcement. He will hold a massive State of the City address on a public stage in the heart of Gotham Plaza. In a move to show he trusts the people, Tony orders a total withdrawal of the Iron Legion drones. For 24 hours leading up to the event, the skies are clear. He wants the citizens to see his face, not a visor. It is the ultimate display of Stark's ego, disarming his own security and stepping out in the open, believing his genius makes him untouchable in a city where everyone hates him.